Once upon a time, deep in the Whisperwood, there lived a little girl named Iris. She lived with her grandmother, Papa Elf, and Mama Deer in a cozy cottage made from a giant acorn. Iris loved living in the Whisperwood. The trees were her best friends, the mushrooms her confidants, and the babbling brook her mirror, reflecting all of her hopes and dreams. But most of all, Iris loved colors. The reds of the cardinal's wings, the yellows of the dandelions, the purples of the twilight sky, all brought smiles to her face. One day, a terrible storm swept through the Whisperwood. Rain lashed against the windows, wind howled like a hungry wolf, and thunder grumbled like an awakened giant. Iris snuggled close to her grandmother as the lights flickered, and the old oak tree outside creaked and groaned. When the storm finally passed, the sun peeked shyly through the clouds. Iris ran to the window and gasped. In the clearing stood a gigantic rainbow, sparkling brilliantly against the backdrop of the stormy sky. It was unlike any rainbow she had seen before. Its colors seemed to shimmer and dance, beckoning her closer. Curiosity overwhelmed Iris's fear. She grabbed her red rain boots, put on her favorite yellow raincoat, and ran into the forest. As she approached the rainbow, its colors seemed to reach out, wrapping around her like a warm hug. Then, whoosh, it vanished, leaving behind a small wooden box. Iris knelt down, her heart pounding. She had never seen anything like it. The wood was smooth and polished, the corners carved into swirling patterns. And when she lifted the lid, a sweet, flowery scent wafted out. Inside lay a key made of pure white crystal. Suddenly, a tiny voice squeaked. "Who's there?" Startled, Iris jumped back. On the ground sat a miniature wooden door, no bigger than her thumb. From behind it, two huge emerald eyes peered at her curiously. Then a little fairy fluttered out, her wings shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. "Hello," she said, extending a hand. "My name is Meadow. Are you the one who found my magic box?" Iris nodded, still in awe of the talking fairy. "I'm Iris," she whispered, "and this is the Whisperwood." "I know," Meadow replied. "That's why I sent for you. We need your help." "Me? Why?" "Because only someone who loves colors as much as you do can help us save our world from the darkness," Meadow explained, her voice trembling. "The colors are fading away, and we don't know why." Hesitantly, Iris reached out and touched the little fairy's hand. A jolt of energy surged through her, and suddenly she felt as if she understood Meadow's every word. Without a moment's hesitation, Iris stepped through the wooden door and found herself in a world straight out of a fairy tale. Lush green meadows, dotted with colorful flowers, stretched as far as the eye could see. Sparkling streams meandered through the landscape, their banks lined with trees that shimmered in hues of pink and blue. Above it all, a sky painted in shades of lavender and turquoise shimmered with an otherworldly glow. But as Iris took in the breathtaking scenery, she couldn't shake off a nagging feeling of unease. The colors, they weren't right. They were dull, washed-out versions of their former vibrancy. Meadow noticed Iris's troubled expression. "Can't you see?" she asked sadly. "All the colors are losing their brilliance. Even the sky, which used to be filled with rainbows, has turned a gloomy gray." As they walked deeper into this strange and beautiful land, Iris began to understand the gravity of their situation. If they couldn't restore the colors, this world would lose its magic forever. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the silent landscape, followed by a booming voice that shook the very foundations of the world. "So the little human has come," it boomed. "Very well. Come then, child. Let us play a game." Startled by the sudden appearance of a shadowy figure, Iris instinctively took a step back. But Meadow, with the unwavering bravery that only a determined fairy could possess, fluttered in front of Iris, shielding her with her tiny body. "Leave Iris alone," she squeaked defiantly. "Why should I?" the shadow sneered. "You're nothing but a tiny fairy. You can't defeat me." "We don't want to fight you," Meadow replied, her voice shaking slightly, "but you have to stop stealing the colors." The shadowy figure let out a cruel laugh. "Stealing colors? No, 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 that's not true. I simply collect what belongs to me, the essence of vibrance. After all, I am Umbra, the embodiment of darkness itself." With that, he lunged towards them, his dark tendrils reaching out like grasping claws. Iris instinctively closed her eyes, bracing for impact. But instead of pain, she felt a surge of warmth envelop her. When she opened her eyes, she saw Meadow standing in front of her, her body glowing with a brilliant rainbow light. Umbra recoiled, his dark form flickering as if in pain. "What?" he hissed. "Why are you giving off a light? Aren't you afraid of me?" Meadow stood tall, her voice ringing with newfound confidence. "Of course I'm afraid of you, Umbra, but I'm more afraid of a world without color, without joy, without hope. And those things, the things that bring happiness, they're worth fighting for." With that, she launched herself at Umbra, her tiny fists glowing with rainbow light. Umbra, caught off guard by the unexpected attack, stumbled back, his dark form flickering. For a moment it seemed as if the very essence of light and darkness was at war, each struggling to consume the other. But as the battle raged on, Iris realized something. The more Umbra struggled, the brighter Meadow glowed. With a sudden burst of energy, Meadow unleashed a blinding flash of rainbow light, banishing Umbra's darkness and restoring the colors to the sky above them. Umbra, weakened and defeated, retreated, vowing revenge. With Umbra gone, the colors returned to their world, more vibrant than ever before. The sky blazed with hues of crimson and gold as the trees shimmered in emerald and sapphire. Flowers bloomed in every color imaginable, filling the air with their sweet perfume. Meadow, exhausted but triumphant, smiled at Iris. "Thank you," she whispered. "You brought the colors back to our world." Iris, still in awe of the magical world she had helped save, couldn't help but smile back. "It was you who did the hard work, Meadow. You and all the fairies and creatures of this world. I wanted to help." As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the land, Iris knew it was time to return home. Saying her goodbyes to Meadow and the other creatures, Iris stepped back through the magical wooden door, clutching a small pouch filled with shimmering dust. "This will keep the colors bright until we meet again," Meadow had said, handing her the pouch. Back in the familiar surroundings of her grandmother's cottage, Iris poured the shimmering dust onto her windowsill. As the first rays of sunlight hit it the next morning, a beautiful rainbow arced across the sky. A smile spread across Iris's face. She might not be able to visit the Whisperwood as often as she wished, but the colors that filled her world were a constant reminder of her magical adventure and the importance of courage, kindness, and love in a world that sometimes seemed too gray.